This week, we are starting a monumental build, the Cutler 1050. Seven years ago, I bought this 1050 Cutler motor. When I bought this snowmobile from its original owner, the guy showed me a clip of it running. Check it out. So that chassis you guys just saw, I ended up throwing that thing in the garbage. It didn't fit the build. It didn't have enough structural integrity anymore to hold the horsepower of this motor. So from there, I was on a hunt for another chassis. Came across this one thinking that it was going to be the right fit, but it wasn't. We ended up salvaging some parts and different things that we felt we could use on other builds. So the search continued. That was 4 years ago. So the reason why I'm being so specific on what chassis I want to put this motor in, this motor started out as a ZRT 800. Cutler Performance takes the motor, punches it out to a 1050, ports the cylinders, cuts the heads for higher compression, puts big air carburetors on there, bigger bore carburetors, puts aftermarket pipes. These things crank out probably 230, 240 horsepower. So fast forward 2 weeks ago, I was in search of a ZRT 800, very specifically so that this motor would be more like plug and play. Bolt right in, wiring harness all clicked together. A guy messaged me and said, I don't have a ZRT, but I know of an ad for somebody that had one. And when I clicked on that guy's ad, my last name came across the windshield. I couldn't believe what I just saw, but we'll get back into that in just a minute. I want to get this snowmobile running first and make sure this motor is still healthy. All right, got some race fuel in here. I'm gonna prime the fuel pump a little bit and kind of give it a head start by putting some pre-mixed race fuel right on top of the air filters. That should limit how many times I have to sit and crank on the rope, and hopefully I can get this thing fired up. This sled has around 150 PSI. It's tough to pull on that rope. Okay, moment of truth. Got the choke fully on. Got the little makeshift kill switch on. See what happens. You better make sure this thing has some spark. Let me put my spark tester on there. So what these do, these plug on the end of your spark plug. This goes into the spark plug cap. We're gonna kill that light and these should illuminate a color. It's not a very bright light, but it's just like a little amber colored, orangish colored light. At least tell us if this thing has some spark. I'm gonna trust that you guys tell me if you see spark or not. Here we go. I see nothing. What has happened? Make sure all these little connectors are on. Oh, found one disconnected. Right on the ignition coil. One little plug on. This snowmobile is pretty much hot wired onto this chassis. Again, why I'm trying to look for one that has a proper wiring harness and all that, so this doesn't become a wiring nightmare every time I want to try and start it. See what happens. There we go. Do you guys see it? All right. I'm gonna dump a little bit more race fuel on top of those air pods. Here we go.
Do we gotta take those off?
It should start with them. Now that we have spark, we'll just set these off to the side. motor has a lot of compression, you guys. Hoping it would fire up a little easier than that. I'm not quite sure what it needs. I don't know if it wants choke, no choke.
It wants starting fluid, but you'll probably be murdered if you use that.
I really would like to pull out the starting fluid, but I know how much you guys dislike that, so I do too. We'll just keep going with this. We didn't even need starting fluid. Quit's choking out. Quit. All right, we're gonna have to open the garage so we can start airing some of this out. All right, you guys, we just got this baby running. I'm gonna put it back on its dollies. Let's push it back outside so I don't choke to death in here. And I want to just let this motor sit and run. I'll kind of give it a little bit of a heat cycle a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that ZRT that has my last name on the windshield.
Alright, quick break from the 1050 video. I'm cameraman Quinn, by the way. Earlier today, I played a prank on Rocky, and I told him that we needed to go check out my uncle's shop. So that hopefully one day we could have a shop like his, and his would give us inspiration. Well, I had a trick up my sleeve. My uncle built a raccoon launcher trap. So here's Rocky thinking we're going on a shop tour. Enjoy.
We're gonna go check out a shop that hopefully one day could be a future home for old school Arctic Cat. Maybe it'll give us kind of it's a dream, I would say right now. But first, if you have a dream, and if you write that dream down, that becomes a goal. And if you have a goal and you work really hard at a goal, I believe you can achieve it. So we're gonna go check out a shop, and hopefully that can maybe be a goal for me in the future. Go check it out.
Rocky,
yep.
Kyle.
Nice to meet you, Kyle.
You too.
Yeah.
Rocky's wanting to shop someday.
Yeah, this is
the best thing ever.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Simulator that all folds up.
Me and my dad pushing almost 30 sleds. Oh my God.
You guys like the snowmobile?
You know, it's funny. It seems like lately. Well, I'm into old school Arctic Cats, like really old school, like 90s.
Hey, quit saying that's old.
I know.
See, baby raccoons. Mom's a little mean, but the babies, the mom will usually come out if we get here. She'll usually pop out.
Oh my God.
What the heck?
Oh my gosh, dude. That was insane. I didn't. You know, I didn't quite expect that, dude. Gosh, I'm glad I wasn't here. That would have got me in the face.
Dude, Rocky, we've been planning this.
Are you serious? Oh Oh my gosh.
That's why we came here.
I'm like baby raccoon, huh? Oh my gosh.
When I got him, it hit him right in the chest.
Dude, that would have got me. I was like right there for a second, and I kind of backed up. Well, you started shaking or hitting it or something. I'm like, what's about to come undone here?
I texted him this afternoon. I was like, I gotta bring my friend out here to see your raccoons.
I know, he kept telling me, he's like, yeah, you got to see this shop for like future stuff. I'm like, all right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that almost got me, man. Like, hit me. I'm like, what the?
Like the cage broke when he was, I thought he was hitting it.
Trying to get it open?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, he broke. Oh! He ripping out of there. He's really got a baby raccoon in there. Yeah, you had me. I thought it was for sure real.
That looks like an old sled.
Does it? How old do you think this snowmobile is?
It looks like 24.
24?
24.
Wow, that is so old.
That's
Do you guys think this snowmobile is gonna be fast or slow?
fast.
And how do you know that?
Because if it's an older sled, they usually go faster, and they'll just pick up more speed because they're like heavier.
That's right. You heard it there.
And if it's like one of the newer sleds, it's less weight, so then it's not as fast.
I agree. Totally agree with all of that.
Right.
So guys, this is my second oldest daughter. I have 3 daughters and 1 son. This is my second oldest daughter, Harper, and this is my youngest daughter, Tegan.
Tegan, say hi. Hi.
And do you guys like old school Arctic cats?
Yeah.
All right, good. They're in the right family then.
For heaven's sake.
There you go. Here's the plan. 7 years ago, when I bought this engine, I knew I wanted to put it into a race sled. I wanted to be able to drag race it. I wanted to be able to hill climb it, do a few awesome things with this sled. There's a drag race that happens every year, and it's coming up in a couple months. My plan is to get this sled ready for that race. In order for this motor to make it to that race, there is a laundry list of stuff that has to be done. We're going to be refinishing the pipes. We got a lot of clutching that has to be dialed in, a lot of gearing that has to be dialed in. The water pump should be rebuilt on this sled because it's been sitting so long, and that's when this snowmobile comes into play. When this snowmobile left my hands, it really kind of left a hole, right? Like, I didn't want to let this one go. This one is lime green, so it's a limited edition. It's a ZRT, it's an 800. You just don't find these very often out here in the West. But anyway, a couple years after I sold this is when I came across this 1050 Cutler. And when I bought this, I was really hoping I could have found another ZRT 800 like the one I had. So back to 2 weeks ago, when that guy showed me this snowmobile that was for sale and I saw my last name, I was like, no way, right? Whatever I had to do, I was going to get that snowmobile back because I need it, because I knew I had this 1050. So I messaged that guy and I'm like, where are you located? And he's like, the snowmobile's clear up like 6 hours away. It was too far for me to want to drive all the way there. So I asked the guy if he was willing to meet me, and he was like, yeah, I can meet you halfway. So loaded up some ratchet straps, got the cash, headed out there. I could tell that the snowmobile was a little rougher from when I last saw it, but it didn't really matter. I still wanted it because I knew it would fit the build. Anyway, when I saw it, I could see this beautiful green paint job was starting to spider crack, and a lot of paint starting to chip. The seat was all tore up. I'm like, man, this thing has had a hard life since the last time I saw it in 7 years. And anyway, when I was talking to that guy, I'm like, you know what the most interesting thing about this sled is? He's like, what? I'm like, believe it or not, that's my last name on the windshield. He was blown away, just like how I felt. I'm like, wow, I can't believe that I came across your snowmobile again. And he told me that at some point it was clear out in Nevada. It ended up being clear out in Boise, and he ended up meeting me halfway from Boise. And I couldn't be more ecstatic. I called my dad. He knew this sled really well. Told him about it. He couldn't believe it. This snowmobile pretty much is the exact same from when I last seen it. It did have these aftermarket A&N pipes, and everything else is pretty much stock. It had its air box. It has the flat side carburetors. The reason why that guy was selling it is it blew its crankshaft. Apparently, this PTO side has a bad bearing in it. So, and that didn't matter to me, because I knew I was going to be transplanting this 1050. But it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a good project. This is going to be several videos of us trying to build this thing and to try and make it nice. I want to, get the hood repainted green and find some decals to throw on it. I'm going to put a 151 finger track on this sled. I'm going to extend the tunnel a little bit. Just want it to hook up really good in snow, and I want it to be wicked fast on the drag racing. So I'm going to play with some clutching, play with some gearing. I just want to have a full-blown race sled that I just take out once in a while and just kind of keep a hold of it and trying to cherish it. So one thing that we're trying to do, you guys, we really need a name for this beast. I kind of thought of a name that was called the Big Green Giant. Let me know in the comments what you think what the name of this snowmobile should be. Another thing, guys, if you are interested in these A&N pipes, I don't know if I have a real need for these. So anyway, if you guys feel like you're interested in these A&N pipes, let me know and I can take them off and ship them to you or whatever. But anyway, this is going to be an exciting series, and catch you on the next one. Don't mind my hearing aid. I mean, this Thundercat has blown out my eardrums. Wear earplugs, children.